now rocking with the best. Who's the boxing show that's knocking out the competition? The kick-ass podcast that make you want to listen. The place where boxing fans and fighters rejoice. Thumbs up for Richie, you're listening to the fighter's voice.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'm your host, Richard Ortiz of the Fighter's Voice, the only voice that matters. Like our guest tonight, we're simply knocking out the competition. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to introduce to you, coming off being victorious last Saturday, who's now improved his record to 21-0, Top Rank's own Giovanni Cabrera. Welcome to the show, Giovanni.
Thanks for having me, brother. Good to be on.
Hey, I'm a man of my word. I said I would have you back and we would do a recap from the first time that you were on the show. So, okay, first of all, congratulations on your victory last Saturday over Gabriel Flores Jr.
Thank you so much, brother. I appreciate that. It was the biggest fight of my career up to date versus, probably the best opponent. And, we made a big statement, I think.
Oh, I mean, you did definitely. I mean, in the co-main event, I mean, you performed. You got to remember, when Top Rank puts fighters on the co-main event that are televised, they expect results. They expect either a knockout or they expect an exciting fight. They just want, you got to remember, it's half entertainment. And you brought exactly what everybody was expecting, entertainment.
Absolutely. I've been working on my power for a long time. So it's all about the technique. It's all about developing as a fighter. And my trainer, Freddie Roach, to me is the best, one of the best to ever do it. So I'm just trying to get better, man. I think I have not reached my full potential yet. I think I'm constantly learning. I'm on the right path. I think I can be a great fighter. So I'm just trying to get better every day.
There you go. Hey, can I ask a favor of you? Can I have you get in the center of the of your picture? Just in case ESPN contacts me, Mark Kriegel wants to use this piece at all. I want to make sure it looks good. Sure. So when it comes on live ESPN, man. There you go. There you go. Right on. Okay, now that the fight is over, let's talk about the game plan. What was the game plan going in? And did it change at all over the face-off? Because a lot of people made a big deal about it. I personally know the Flores camp, and I know Gabriel Flores is customary for, he will not shake a fighter's hand until after the fight. After when the fight's over, win, lose, or draw, he does come and shake the fighter's hand. But a lot of people, they took that to heart. I mean, they made a big deal over it. I mean, how did you handle that? And you can bring up that picture as we talk, too. How did you handle the non-handshake during the face-off?
I thought it was funny. I didn't judge him too hard on it, I knew that he was trying all these little tricks and all these mental games, and it was a weak attempt. It was a weak attempt to try to manifest something that he was hoping to. I don't know. I'm not really sure how he expected it to be effective, but I didn't have any hopes for anything to happen. Instead, what I did is I prepared for every outcome, and that gave me mental security. Well,
I thought it triggered you. I thought it woke you up. Freddie wanted you to be aggressive from the start. He wanted you to just, I'm not saying he wanted you to a la Tommy Hearns, Marvin Hagler in the first round, but you first round, there was no filling out process. You let those hands go. Let's talk about that first round.
I my whole career, I've outboxed anybody that I've wanted to. Sometimes it's led to, making it look easy, or, maybe sometimes, when you don't get hits, you get used to and you like not getting hit, right?
Right.
So, but I decided that it was time for me to move myself out of that comfort zone and really make an effort to show everybody what I could do, and first and foremost, for me, boxing is always a chess match, and I've always beat fighters intelligently. But I do have power. How can I beat all these undefeated fighters if I don't have power? Doesn't make sense. How can I beat them? They can make excuses about whatever happened or what they or what I did or what they didn't do, but no, it's not true. The power is there, and obviously, it's made me successful. But the only thing is that I have my strategy, the direction in which I take the fight has been different, and I decided that yeah, the last couple of fights, I had a 2.5 year layoff during the pandemic. Now I'm getting back to pre-pandemic era Gio Cabrera, but this time with the best trainers in the world. So, and that's what you saw.
What does it do to you mentally, just looking back and knowing you're coming out of the wild card stable, knowing that you have the legendary, the Hall of Famer that in a lot of people's mind proclaimed is probably the best trainer ever to hit the corner? I mean, in the likes of Emmanuel Stewart, Angelo Dundee, another great one and will be a first ballot Hall of Famer, Robert Garcia, Buddy McGirt. There's a lot of good trainers out there.
It feels amazing, man, and like it's so good to Freddie Roach is not a man who is feeding the ego of his fighters. He does not give it. As a matter of fact, he frowns upon it. Anybody that walks with a big head in the wild card gym will get roasted because the only thing that matters is the work that you do in the ring. That's it. So don't show me how tough you are, by trying to project or embody something. Show me what you do in the ring, right? And but when I looked this time, I could see this training camp was one of the best I've ever had in my life. Probably the best training camp that I've ever had. And when I saw the assurance in his face and his belief in me, I'm like, this must be. It must be what I believe and what I've worked to do. He's approving of it. So that gives me full confidence, And when he told me, hey, you go out there, hit him with the first punch. Don't wait for nothing. Go out there and hit him with the first punch. 7 seconds into the round, he was in the canvas. And that's when I knew that everything had lined up, the mental preparation, the training, everything.
Exactly. How many knockdowns were scored that round?
2 knockdowns in the first round and one in the fifth.
Giovanni, can I be honest with you?
Please.
I was multitasking, brother. I was multitasking. I was doing things. I was buying things, and I said, okay, whatever happens, I want to hurry up because I got to watch this fight. There's no ifs, there's no buts to it. And before then, I was going back and forth with a Hall of Famer and Lee Samuels. We were talking about this fight, the anticipation that it was going to be a great fight, and he said, Richard, make sure you tune in. It's going to be televised. Again, reminded me. Matchmaking, they matchmake fights on TV that need to be exciting. I missed the first round, my man. I did. Man. I did. Yes, I did. So I'm hearing the commentating. I know what kind of boxing fan and host, right? I'm hearing the commentating, and I heard something of reference where they said Flores isn't out of the woods just yet, but he's looking good. And I'm thinking, okay, when you make that reference in boxing, that means there was some kind of heat that I missed. So it wasn't until later on, but I saw the fight kind of transitioning in your favor. I did acknowledge Gabriel trying to make the transition, and you just that was your night. I mean,
you know what? I dominated that fight from beginning to end. Some of the if you heard something from commentators swaying in the way of Gabriel Flores Jr., it was a little bit of disbelief on their part, and it's okay. I don't take it personally at all. I shocked not only Gabriel Flores, but his supporters as well. And during the fight, some people had to come to terms with that.
Well, let's talk about those commentators. It's free for all. I mean, this is the podcast to do it. What commentators do you think saw a different fight or made some comments that you're probably thinking to yourself, bro, what are you watching?
That you heard, I don't know, but you mentioned that you heard someone say, oh, Flores isn't out of the woods. Maybe like he had come back a little bit. And some of the rounds were for him. And the people have given me my flowers because one of the videos got 500,000 views, another one got 2 million views, another one got 6 million views. So this is beyond whatever commentators were speaking on it because the people saw, and it was popular for the very fact that I shut his mouth. And I respect Gabriel Flores. I think he's a brave fighter, man. It takes a lot to put your name and the trajectory of your career on the line, and he did that, and we made a great fight. He's tough as hell. So
I will comment on that and say, yeah, the kid has a lot of heart. There's no quitting in him. There was no, okay, I give up. He went for it, and he came up short. But I know the Flores camp, and I know he did the best that he could. There wasn't anything else that he could have done to prepare himself for that fight. Now, the game plan could be in place, but I got to give it to you. Sometimes when a fighter jumps on another fighter, that game plan is out the door. So you transition, and you refuse to let your opponent transition or get comfortable or step up into the fight. Now that the fight is over, and you had a time to sleep on it, and, I don't see a rematch taking place, although he did. We're going to talk about this later on in the show. He does want a rematch, but hold that thought. What was the game plan going in, Giovanni? I mean, it's okay to share because the fight is over.
The game plan was just try to counter everything that he did. If he threw a punch, if he threw a jab, I know he threw I studied him, and he was throwing, he likes to box, he likes to throw one jab, he likes to throw two jabs, and then in spurts, he'll throw a little flurry. So I knew that he likes to take his time, and he does that with the jab. So it was so funny that Andre Ward said, a lot of fighters have a lot of weapons, but Gio Cabrera only has a left hand. And then I showed a masterclass use of the right. I doubled the jab, boom, boom, snapped his head back, and then 3 right hooks, the third landing, they all landed, and the third one sending him to the canvas. So I just knew that I had to counter everything that he did. And when he would throw a jab, I would slip, boop, hit him with the left. Or if he threw a jab, maybe I would change it up and I would try to counter with a right hook. So every time that he wanted to get his offense off, I shut him down, or at least made it difficult. If it didn't land, he had to work for everything that he tried to do.
Your style is hard to mimic. You have you're kind of agile, and you kind of angles and punches at different angles, and not normally your 1-2s where you're sitting on the back of your heels. You kind of throw on the off foot, and you just kind of give angles in your head movement. Of course, that's something that works for you. Is that something that you transitioned to, or were you always an awkward type of fighter, giving other opponents a headache?
Yeah, I've
both mentally and
style.
physically.
I guess my interpretation of boxing is, I don't know. It's unique. It's my own, and but I've studied some of the most awkward fighters. My biggest inspirations early on was Manny Pacquiao and Ali and Pernell Whitaker. Pernell Whitaker really wasn't awkward in a way, but he was very slippery, always using angles. Pacquiao, a bit reckless, but one of the greatest fighters of all time, getting away with so many flaws in his game. They said the same thing about Ali. It's like, what is so awkward? Awkward because you can't figure it out? To me, that's intelligence, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So yeah, and but it's okay. I take that as a compliment. I take all
that is a compliment. Awkward is a compliment. It's not a setback. It's not a handicap.
It's not, but they could start to use the word skill.
It's a very skillful asset to your repertoire.
Yes, sir.
You mentioned Pernell Whitaker. Now, you're talking about someone who you just would carve people up with angles. I mean, Pernell was just probably one of the best defensive fighters of all time, and had some pop in him, the late, great Pernell Whitaker. So you've done your homework. Muhammad Ali, Manny Pacquiao, and you said they used to get away with things that the normal fighter couldn't because of their physical, athletic attributes. I mean, being able to hold a hand down and move, which you would never teach a fighter. Always got his hands up, elbows in.
Exactly.
But they're able to get away with that because that works for them. Your awkwardness, your skillfulness, I'll rephrase it, is the skill that works for you. So you're going to make sure that you add to it, along with the power now that Freddie Roach and you've been working on in Wild Card Gym, and now the confidence is there. What happens now? What step up do we take next?
I just want to, you know, improve all around. You know, I can have better defense, and I think my angles and my footwork and my jab has been largely part of my defense, but I do have a tendency to fight with my hands down, and yeah, there's a lot of things to work on, but more than anything, I think it's just the mental aspect to be willing to do what is necessary. If the fight isn't going the way that I wanted, I'm not just gonna react to the situation. I will try to will it to what I want, and I think that's the main difference. Some people get complacent, or if some things don't go their way right away in a round, people panic. And for me, I made the contract with myself already that there's nothing that is gonna happen that's gonna make me stop.
I like that. Those words were also, it may not be the same words, but those words were also used by the late, great Kobe Bryant. He said, I already made the contract with myself. Win, lose, or draw, meaning on his day, tired or what have you, I'm going to go work out. I'm still getting up in the morning. The team works out at this time. I'm still going to work out at this other time. So you made an agreement with yourself. You mentally signed the contract. So you're daring yourself, pressuring yourself, allowing yourself to grow and be one of the greats.
That's the goal, and I just want to keep getting better. So just keep learning, keep working hard, and it's like Achilles said, I want to be remembered for the great wars I was in. So, and Gabriel Flores gave me that. He came and he played his games, and it made the fight just even better. Everything about it. So my hats off to him. He's part of my legacy.
What did you say after him? What conversation did the two of you have afterwards?
There was no conversation. I saw a defeated fighter in front of me, and after the fight, at the end of the day, I know that I've been through so much to get to where I am, and I know that he went through a lot, and there was just nothing but respect from me, and I hope he's doing well, and I hope he has a speedy recovery, and I think that if he gets focused and does what he needs to do, he'll be back.
What advice do you have for him?
My advice is just, let's see, if I could give him an advice, I would say cut the social media shit, cut everything that's trying to feed the ego, because what got him there wasn't that. What got him there was his raw talents. And if he goes back to that, I think he'll be successful once again.
I think he definitely has the attributes, the physical ability, and the boxing IQ to make another strong run and be a potential contender and maybe fight for a world title. Moving on from that, but I do want to add this. After the fight, Giovanni, he did say he would like a rematch. Now, I don't know if you heard that part, and you're hearing it now today on the fighter's voice. What's your take on that, and do you see a possible rematch in the future, possibly in Stockton, his hometown?
My take is I always take steps forward, and I think any conversations about Gabriel Flores, especially after the dominating and devastating performance that I had against him, is just wishful thinking, and it would be a step back for my career, because I already proved in front of the world what I had to do. And yeah, I mean, he of course, anybody that loses is going to want that run back, but you have to deserve it. If people put themselves in line to step up in front of me, then they've worked their whole career to get there, then they deserve that. But after a dominating loss, I mean, it has to make sense.
I'm going to play matchmaker for just 1 second, if you allow me to play matchmaker. There's a fighter out there that's floating around. Maybe about 5 pounds he'd have to move up. And I think it would be a great matchup. I don't know if you've heard of him, but after the show, you can look him up. And I'm talking about Andy Altiberon Vincent.
I had heard his name, but listen, I'm not interested in fighting any contenders. I'm interested in fighting the biggest and the baddest in my weight division, because that's the only thing that's going to make me great. So anybody that's a little bit, around my area, it doesn't interest me. I'm not interested in those fights. I'm interested in fighting the best.
Hey, enough
People
said. Well
at
respected.
my level or better.
Well, I like that. Talking about your level, I asked you off camera about Top Rank, and then we spoke a little bit about your contract. And you said, Richard, actually, that was my last fight with Top Rank on the contract. Is that correct?
I had a 3-fight deal with Top Rank, and we're in talks right now to renew. But also, I'm getting a lot of offers from some other big names, so I'm just very excited. I can't really say too much about it. But I hope that I think it's gonna work out well, man. I'm on my way.
Well, I mean, okay, without giving it too much, are any of them offers, are they kind of golden? Or are they kind of like the AB PVC-ish type? Or are they kind of the Matchroom-ish, you know? What do those offers sound like?
I really can't say. I really can't say because it's a very sensitive thing right now. But I think I'm looking forward to, it's going to be amazing. This next chapter, whoever I decide to go with, it's going to be great. And I think it's going to be a big international presence.
I think you just dropped a hint right then and there. I like that. You did. But these are the questions I got to ask. I know you can't answer that, and I don't want to disrupt your negotiations. I don't want your manager emailing me and say, brother, what are you doing? In the middle of what's going on. But right now, for this second, right now, this minute, as we speak, Giovanni, you're holding the strings. You're holding the strings. You're in charge. You're holding the strings. Today, right now, this moment, this is your moment.
It feels good, man. It feels good. But now is when the real work begins, and now
absolutely I
can take it to even higher levels. And I just hope that I stay focused, and I am focused, and everything is going in my direction. So I just want to thank God. My family has always supported me, and that's really it. This is about family. This is about the legacy you want to leave behind, and I'm just extremely grateful to have stuck with it, because this is such a gamble in life. Boxing is the biggest gamble you can do because it might be for nothing, But this is just a testament to the will of a fighter, and just, don't give up and keep working hard, and good things happen.
Giovanni, this is the part of the show where we have a little bit of fun. It's okay to have fun, man. I mean, the show is entertainment. We got to bring entertainment, and then we're going to talk about some serious matters. Then I'm going to get your take on some upcoming fights. I'm going to put 2 pictures up there, and I'm not going to mention their name. Put 2 of the celebs that I think he looks like and the other fighter that he looks like. I mean, one of them, the name's probably on there. And I just want to see how close. I want to see the viewers or the fans. Boom, right there. Okay, and show it. I think there's another picture of him, too. Okay, Giovanni. I mean, I can see resemblance just a little bit there. Maybe not that smile, but kind of the hair, the eyes, and that other look.
I don't see it.
Okay, well,
I can't see them in.
Okay, well then let's play. Let's post that other picture of this other fighter, who I thought it was. I think you look more like this fighter than John Leguizamo. I'm gonna make sure we pull that up right now. Yeah, it was the 2 pictures I sent you.
Okay.
No. I sent you some more. Oh, yeah, you can go ahead and turn it to the side. Once we have that, we'll pull it back up.
Okay.
Yes. Yes. There you go.
Yeah, I can't see the image.
Sorry, okay. Okay, well then, when I send you the link, then you can look onto the show. Send the other picture there.
Absolutely.
So that's Zudo Ramirez.
Yeah, I've said that before.
Yeah, and the other picture, if we have that.
Maybe I have
the
to
boxing
talk to
gloves.
my dad. Maybe I have a brother I don't know about.
Yeah, your dad got some explaining to do. We got to have that on hit next time. That got to be in place. So we're gonna go ahead and move on, okay? I mean, I just thought the resemblance was there. So now, you had your last fight with Top Rank. You want to raise your level, raise the bar. What did Freddie Roach tell you? I mean, we know before the fight. What did he tell you during the fight? And what was his words and proudness after the fight? What did he tell you? I want that other picture later.
Before the fight, before the fight, really, he looked at me and he saw me gearing myself up for what was about to come, and I think it was a different energy in the dressing room than it had been before. One more of a killer instinct, and I was bringing that out of myself, and you could see that. And when he saw that, I think he gave me some words of advice, and I mean it's just and it was honest. He looked at me and he said, "Yo, this is your night, kid. Like, this is your night." And when Freddie said, "This is your night," and you see that, I'm like, "Oh shit, it is." I felt it. I felt it, and I went in there with that kind of confidence, man. And yeah, we went over all the little things right before. Anytime he throws a jab, slip and boom, hit him with the left. If he throws the jab and slays it with it, counter it with the right hook over the top. And a very simple game plan, very clear instructions, and it was just consistent. I can be very creative with my combinations, but if something isn't broke, don't fix it. And if I keep landing the left hand, then it'll be death by left hands.
You know what your fight did also from around this area? Because a lot of people, I grew up in the area of not Chicago, but covered a lot of Flores' fights. So I know the Flores camp. I know some of his management team, his trainers, etc. It started a Twitter war. It started a media war. These guys were going back and forth and back and forth. Some were pro Giovanni, some were pro Flores, and they just were going back and forth. And I'm sitting back, and I'm not one to really say, okay, I'm going to comment on this or I'm going to comment on that. To be honest with you, I try to stay away from that. But if I stay away from it completely, then why am I here? Why am I involved in this? Because I took this interview with you to challenge myself, as if to say, if I can't do this interview to this young man who well deserves this, who fought his ass off, then I'm in the wrong business, then I'm going to shut down today, right now, this moment. So you deserve exactly everything that's coming your way. You got a bright future, and, sky's the limit, man. I mean, I can only see you get better. What I'm mostly impressed with, Giovanni, is your attitude and your boxing IQ once you're in there.
Well, I appreciate it, sir. It's been a lot of hard work, a lot of studying over the years, and I have so many great examples, man. Like, when I was in the ring with Manny Pacquiao, I felt like, oh my God, I'm here, and I did kind of walk around a bit differently, feeling a little bit more important and stuff. And I could see that anytime that I had that kind of energy, they would look at me like, that's not it, kid. That's not it. And that's what Freddie teaches, and that's what Manny teaches, without saying a word, just the way he walks. That is the energy of an 8th division champion. And I want to, and I shared the ring with him, and I'm sharing, so much time with Freddie, and like, that's the kind of thing that I want to embody. So that's the road to the top.
That's some good championship pedigree outside of the ring. What did you learn during that sparring session, that learning experience with Manny Pacquiao that helped you through this fight? Was there anything at all? Any moves that you mimicked or you were able to use and just add to your arsenal, your repertoire?
That first combination that I hit Gabriel Flores with, I remembered that Manny landed that same combo on me. And I was like, that's a pretty good combo. And, when you see openings, it's just a flash of a second when something occurs to you. And I remembered that in the sparring, and I threw it and landed flush on the chin, and he was on the ground. So yeah.
So where do we go from here? Are you waiting on your management team? Did Freddie advise you, hey, take a break, but don't take too long of a break, take a vacay? Or when do you go back to the gym? First of all, how's your health? How's your hands? Are you ready to rock and roll?
Everything is great. I'm feeling good. I'm feeling amazing. I was in the gym yesterday. I see no point in slowing down. There's nothing for me to do except for, like, this is my time, and I'm not gonna waste it. I haven't seen my family in a while, so I came here. I'm in Chicago right now, spending time with them, just eating great food, cooking with my brother, talking with my mom and my dad, my nieces and nephews. But I'm eager to get back in there. I want to see what I can do. I want to see how well these negotiations go, and I want to get paid. So I want to fight. I want to fight as much as I can.
I like that. Hey, you want to eat, you want to get paid. You know, get paid according to your skill. I think you've earned that seat on the table to negotiate, and it couldn't come at a better time. As we speak, you're a free agent, and you're able to shop around. You know, like when you go to the mall, you just go to one store. Well, now you're able to go to several stores and say, okay, do I want to buy here, or I like what they have here?
That's right, man. And I'm just grateful. I'm just grateful that finally it's here, and this is just the beginning. So there's a lot of work to do.
Let me ask you this. When you have some extra cash or a few extra bucks, what do you like to splurge on? What does Giovanni go to the store for, or the mall, or look online for? What do you like to rock? Is it clothes? Is it shoes? What is it?
You know what? I just like to. I like to eat good food. I like steak. My brother's a butcher, so
wow.
He gets like the best ribeyes, you know, the best kind of steaks. Brings them home, and we make great food. That's really spending time cooking good food is the best thing that you can do.
So when you got your feet up and you're just chilling, I mean, what do you like to tune in? I mean, what TV show? Let's plug them. I mean, what do you like to watch? What do you like to do on your free time, just leisure time when you're watching the tube, or what do you like to do on your own time?
Well, I mean, really, my life is dominated by boxing. I'm always training. When I get home, I like to relax. I like to listen to, good music. I like,
What do you like to listen to?
Rock. I like classic rock. I like my dad. One of my dad's favorite bands was Pink Floyd. I love Pink Floyd. I love Led Zeppelin. I love all the classic bands. Also a big fan of hip hop. Some of the old greats like Tupac, Biggie. I also love like the modern ones, J. Cole, Kendrick Lamar. Those guys, big inspirations.
So what are some of your favorite movies you like to watch?
Obviously, some of the greatest movies of all time have been boxing movies. On the Waterfront, Marlon Brando, Raging Bull, Martin Scorsese, and Jake LaMotta, or Robert De Niro, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, man. I love all the crime gangster movies, like Goodfellas, Casino. I love Stanley Kubrick. Had some great masterful films like, Full Metal Jacket, 2001 Space Odyssey, those kinds of things. I took a film. I actually was studying. I was in film school before I dropped out at 19, and decided that I was going to become a boxer.
You say
I decided to turn pro. I had already been amateur.
You say film school, like as an actor or like a videographer?
Yeah, more like on the technical side, just in the filmmaking process, production, all that stuff.
Well, I heard, and I'm going to go ahead and plug him because I got a call from this guy, and I haven't heard from him. I mean, sometimes when I talk to this dude, we'll be talking, and I'll say, hey, I'll rap to you later, and then he'll just like fall off the earth. And then out of nowhere, he'll just call me, but I respect it. So I think that's the way our friendship is, I guess. From Shally Hollis from the Black Corner. He said, Richard, man, let him know, man. I'm going to go up there and do some film work with him. And he goes, I'm going to turn this cat into a movie star. He goes, he has that look. He has that personality. I want to get some, good documentations and, run that camera around you. Now, being that said, I can't offer that without offering our team to go down there as well. Mateo, myself, and Sofia. So I'm probably going to give Maria a call. And whenever you have time, man, next time, or maybe we'll just all team up and make it one hell of a package and get some, stay out of your hair. We'll be that fly on the wall and get some good training of you, get you walking to your car, a little small documentary. We'll possibly start in black and white as soon as you walk in the wild card, it kind of turns color with some good commentary, somebody that possibly has a good, host voice or something, and we'll put that package together, man.
Hey, that sounds amazing, brother. Let's talk to Marie. Let's set it up, man. The bigger, the better. And yeah, man, let's see how big we can get,
Exactly. So that means we're going to have to take a trip down to Chicago. So like when you catch that flight, we got to get it all. It's not going to be, and you know what? Even when you're enjoying one of your brother's steaks, because when you said that, I could already hear it on the satay cooking,
Yeah.
turning it over and, possibly some A1 sauce or, me, I just grab that thing and put it in a tortilla. That's the way I get down.
Tortilla, that's right.
Yep. So most of all, besides family, you miss the home cooking from your brother. You said your brother is a butcher, or is he a cook?
Well, yeah, he's a butcher. He's a butcher, but you know, when you're a butcher, you know, you get the best meat. You start cooking the best things, and yeah, he kills it. We make big feasts all the time. We get you know, lots of steak, lots of seafood, all that kind of good stuff.
Oh man, dang.
Yeah, but my mom used to have a restaurant in Mexico when we were kids, and then we moved back to the United States and we had to get rid of it. But like, food has always been huge, and my mom has always been a big inspiration to us. We love her food.
Yeah, no, exactly. No. Again, Shelly said, "Hey, man, send this kid my love and tell him I appreciate his efforts, and he can't wait to work with you." So I do want to say that from the
Thank
Black
you, my
Corner.
brother. I look forward to it.
Yes, absolutely. Well, man, I mean, I know you got a lot to do, and I know you got some decision making, big decisions that need to be made in your life, because when you sign those contracts, wherever promotion team you go to, it has to be a great fit, or you got to make it a great fit. Now, when you have those big decisions, do you ever go to like somebody like Freddie Roach, or who do you go to for advice? But besides your management team, do you go to your brother, or is there someone special? Do you pray on it, or how do you make those big decisions? Besides the dollar sign, how do you make those big decisions?
One of my guys one of my friends said that you throw in the steak in the tortilla, it's an A1.
Exactly, that's the best. That is the best A1 sauce. See, I think I did say that.
No, yeah, but who I go to for advice always, you know, my brother, my father, and my mom. You know, Freddie, obviously, my Majesty Fader. One of my good friends, longtime friend Adrian Clark, has always been a good ears. You know, yeah, you know, all these guys have been my mentors, and you know, they're like family. So they always give it to me straight, and there's nothing else I can ask for. But at the end of the day, I take all that into consideration, but I still always have to trust my guts, my intuition, because it's led me here so far. So I think I've done a pretty good job. But as long as you have people around you that care about you and hope the best, whether they're right or wrong, you know, I think that will always steer you in the right path.
Hey, I agree with you. It's like sometimes when I'm thinking what you're going to say right now, you come out and just say it. So you definitely got your head on straight, man. Are you, how can I say this? Because a lot of fighters that I know, they don't even watch boxing too much. Are you a student of the game even outside of the ring? I mean, will you be watching this fight this Saturday, Danny Swift Garcia and Jose Benavidez? Will you be tuning into that PVC's fight?
Absolutely, man. Well, we because, you know, I want what they have. It's just, for me, it's for their motivation. You know, I want to see how they got there. I see their mistakes. I see what they succeed in, and we love talking shit about it. Me and my brother, my dad. You know, it's always a good time.
Yeah, make sure you tune in. Danny Swift Garcia versus Jose Benavidez, Saturday, July 30th, Showtime Boxing, 9 p.m. Eastern Time, 6 p.m. Pacific Time. Pre-sale tickets are still available now. Use the code BOXING. Premier Boxing Champions. So, yeah, man, tune into that fight. So, who do you got in that fight? Do you have an upset, or do you have Danny Swift, you know, maybe winning a decision, knockout, or what do you think?
Danny Garcia, you know, I think he's really damn good. I just don't know if he's gonna adjust to the size.
Yeah, moving up in weight.
I think he definitely has the talent to do it, but I think I'm just on the size difference, I'm giving just a little slight edge to Benavidez. But Danny has the skills to make it difficult for any fighter, so it's gonna be very interesting.
I like Danny's dad, Angel, Crazy Angel, the Birdman. He's a character.
Yeah, that guy's definitely a character.
Exactly, to say the least. Now I want to talk to you about a championship event that's taking place August 20th. That's the rematch for the heavyweight championship of the world. AJ, Anthony Joshua, is getting another opportunity to win his bout back. And I wanted to pick your brain because he now added to his team trainer Robert Garcia as he takes on Usyk. Do you think that's going to make a big impact in the Joshua camp, or is can't teach what is it, a new dog an old trick, or is that did I say that right?
It's definitely possible. Robert Garcia is one of the best trainers.
Absolutely.
And I think, but it has to come deep within Anthony Joshua to take a new psychological approach and shift that mentality. So it doesn't matter what trainer.
Yeah.
It is. He could be the best in the world, but it's up to him. I see Alexander Usyk too focused. Man. I mean, he executed, he boxed beautifully and just followed the game plan so disciplined. I don't see that's very strong mentally.
Yeah,
And
I agree.
I don't see him being shook. I don't see anything that could be so dramatically different. But no, I'm not gonna count Anthony Joshua out. He was the heavyweight champion of the world, and if he finds the will, it's definitely possible.
What do you think he needs to do to transition himself into taking over that fight? And what does he need to stay away from?
I think he just needs to have confidence that he had, because he's big, he has the power, he's got the skill. It's just hesitation, I think. But he's definitely capable. I think that's what Robert Garcia, has a more aggressive style. It's kind of like, how I came out in this fight and had a completely different approach. If he goes out there with a different attitude and takes it to him, same thing with when Tyson Fury came out and shocked everyone instead of boxing and then took it to Deontay Wilder.
He did.
That had a dramatic effect. So I think it's very possible. If they're leaning towards that, I think it's worth it. I think it's worth putting it all on the line in that way.
I agree with you. I think Anthony Joshua, to be successful, is definitely going to have to impose his will, use his size, his power, and make it a dogfight. I mean, rough him up, get in there right from the get-go, right from the start. He needs to let him know this is a different Anthony Joshua. This is a different fight. If he sits back to box, he's right into Alexander Usyk's. That's what he has. Those are his attributes. I mean, fine boxer. He's like a heavyweight Lomachenko.
Absolutely. It's almost like how when people try to box Canelo, I think it's one of the most fatal mistakes you can do, trying to survive against Canelo, because he is a killer and he will find you with those heat-seeking missiles of power bombs that he's got. But when when you get a guy like Triple G who stands his ground and goes forward, now it's somehow the playing field has been leveled again, So it just shows you, sometimes, as invincible as a guy may seem, you take it to him and you're going to see him act differently.
It's funny you bring that up. I've been thinking about that a lot, and I haven't really given my selection a pick. I know who I'm rooting for. I hope Triple G still has some youth in him to stand his ground. And I like that word that you use, stand his ground, because in the first two, there was no doubt in my mind whatsoever, because he was still young enough, he was still consistent enough, and he still had that mental edge. And this time, my concern is Father Time is undefeated, for one. And Canelo, he waited this long because now there's some years now on Triple G. But he does live a good life. I mean, takes care of his body. He's always in fight shape. So I just want to see a great trilogy, and I hope we see some of the old Triple G that we did see in the first two bouts.
Yeah, absolutely. Triple G's a great fighter. Great fighter. I think a lot of people think he won the first one. I agree. I believe the second one could have gone either way.
I agree with you.
I don't have a problem with Canelo winning. Canelo's great. He's great. But yeah, man, Father Time, it's all about the will, because how Manny Pacquiao came back after the devastating loss to Marquez and then beat undefeated young welterweight champions time and time again.
Yeah.
If you find the will, that's it. Where there's a will, there's a way. If Triple G, I see Triple G stubborn enough, and it's anything's possible. If he wants to fight, that means something's burning inside of his ass. Because I don't see too many people. People are lining up to fight Canelo for the payday, but for Triple G, I think it's more than that. Yeah, of course it's the payday, but it's his legacy, and something is burning inside him that he wants to take it on again. So,
well, one, that's his only loss, and two, he truly believes that he has what it takes to be victorious. And I agree with you. A lot of people thought he should have had his hand raised in the first fight, but yet again, what does it do? It sets up a rematch, and then now we have the trilogy. Close to 4 years later, but nevertheless, I mean, we're going to accept it as fans, and I think we're more intrigued by it now. Canelo coming off a loss after he fought a light heavyweight. Had he just skinned through that light heavyweight, then a lot of people would give this fight, they wouldn't give it a second thought. Now, their mind is open because of the Canelo loss, and shows everybody that, hey, Superman isn't invincible. I mean, we found that kryptonite. And it makes for a great storyline in the boxing world. And I'm looking and anticipating a great fight. I myself are putting in for that. And if all goes well, I'll be there in Las Vegas in September.
Yeah, I mean, Bivol, he's just too big, man.
He's a big dude.
I don't think, is it a loss? It's like, is it really a loss?
Yeah, exactly.
No, he didn't lose anything. He tried to take down a giant.
Yes.
Came up short.
Yeah, exactly. And he dared himself to be great. I mean, all these other cats, he put himself in risk, man. I mean, even Canelo. I mean, he took on one of the toughest light heavyweights in the sport of boxing right now. And he dared himself to be great. Hats off to him, man. I mean, not too many people are doing that. They're making business decisions now, and Canelo is the face of boxing. I think him and Tyson Fury are definitely the face of boxing.
I agree.
So listen, man, any fight dates coming up? I mean, can you give the viewers, the fans, the followers anything, man? I mean, what's being discussed right now? I mean, when can we see you back in the ring under any banner?
I'm trying to get this done as fast as possible. I'm hoping to have negotiations wrapped up this month, or at least by the end of August, have everything just in motion to go forward. And if everything goes well, I would like to fight once, maybe twice still this year, if everything lines up.
Oh, I can see you on a couple cards this year. I can see you on some major cards this year. And once you get that information, just say, hey, Rich, you give me a call and say, hey, man, I got some news to drop, bro. Let me just come on real quick. So I just drop some news real quick. Just boom. We can make that happen.
Absolutely. You'll be the first to know.
All right. I'm gonna take you up on that, man. Hey, man, I got to ask you. I know living in Chicago, are you a Chicago Bears fan? You a Chicago Bulls fan? Or do you go against the grain and maybe
I like the Bulls. I like the Bulls, but I grew up, my father, one of the first football games he ever saw on TV in Mexico was Pittsburgh Steelers, baby.
That's why we did talk about that.
Still
curtain.
My Chicago friends talking shit. So it's very funny, very funny. I love arguing with Bears fans, But I'm a big I like the White Sox. I like the Cubs. Also, I know they, but I love the Bulls as well. So, but no, as far as football goes, Pittsburgh Steelers all day.
Exactly. We ran 2 shows today. Tomorrow we're going to run 2. We got Christina Stokes, who's works with Top Rank, and then we have Eric Dog Hernandez is going to be on there. It always makes for a good show. We're going to bring up some good topics, and one of the topics is you, because I spoke to Eric off camera about the fight. He gave me his take. And we're going to talk about that fight and break it down. So if you want to see what other people think, I'm not the only one talking about your performance last Saturday. And also Arnold Barboza will be on later on in the evening. And again, we're going to be talking about that event that took place, because a lot of people are talking about it. A lot of people are not putting it to rest because they like to see a good performance, a good show. And like I said, the matchmakers, whenever you're televised, they want to see entertainment. They want to see results. I will say this, okay, not to add more to the fuel to the fire, but during the fight, some of the commentating were getting on your ass and saying, well, if Cabrera wants to be great, he needs to go in there and he needs to end this fight. He needs to go close the show. And I'm thinking, how can you knock on the man that's doing exactly what he needs to do? If it's not broken, don't fix it. I mean, if with any fighter, if the knockout's there, you're going to take it. But you're in the ring. You know if you want to push or not, or take your foot off the pedal. You're not always going to get the green light from the commentators, especially commentators that a lot of them are corporate commentators. They got a job to protect, and they have certain guidelines, and they can't step out unless, a lot of them that did. Look at Paulie, look at Teddy Atlas. They stepped out, and they're no longer employed. So they're real careful about what they say and how they say it. So I'm sure you had a chance to listen back to the fight.
Oh, absolutely. And it's okay. I think for some reason, I'm just grateful the public was all on my side, man. And like I've seen countless articles written, thousands and thousands and thousands of comments from people saying, what are these, I don't know what fight is being watched, but I don't blame anybody because hey, if they were in shock and awe, then I forgive them, but we all know what happened.
There you go, man. Hey, how can we follow you, man? Because I got to let you go, man. I can smell that meat being cooked at your house right now by your brother.
Thank you, brother. Thank you. Follow me on Instagram at Gio Cabrera Boxing and on Facebook at Gio Cabrera Boxing.
There you go, man. So what do you got to say to all the viewers and the fans that watch and support Giovanni Cabrera? And if they were not a fan, they're a fan now. What do you got to say to them?
I want to say thank you. I'm going to make bigger and better fights. I'm not afraid. I want to be the best in the world, and I'm willing to take on the biggest and baddest. I want to say, arriba León, Guanajuato, arriba Mexico. Let's go, I'm from many places, man. I want to shout out to everybody in Seattle, everybody in Tacoma, everybody in Chicago, all my Chicagoans, I'm here. So yeah, man, I'm just going to keep doing it, and let's just bring more glory to my people.
I can't let you go without making that comment. You said glory to my people. You were very proud to be who you are. Let's talk about who you are and real quick your upbringing. And let's thank right now your mom and dad and such a great job they did in your life.
Absolutely, man. My dad has always been my hero. Him like many other Mexicans come to this country with a sliver of hope, just a whim to try to do something. That takes balls. It takes being bold. It takes courage. Against all odds. And I got that spirit in me. So, and here I am today on my way to become champion of the world.
How important is it for you to give back to your people, our people? When I say give back, just by pure acknowledging them, because that's free. Smiling is free.
Absolutely. I just want them to know that they can do it too. I'm here. I am those people. I was those people. So it's good to know that, no matter who you are, Mexicans, we're great, hardworking people with great spirit. And when you come to America, you become American, and you come here with the American dream. And that's why this country is a beacon of hope. So we can make the dreams happen here.
Ladies and gentlemen, Giovanni Cabrera. I want to thank our guest. And if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, please subscribe. It's www.youtube.com/The Fighter's Voice. Remember, every fighter has a voice, and so do you. I'm your host, Richard Ortiz, reporting live in Fresno, California. And like always, it's a wrap. Thumbs up for Richie. My man. Thank you, my man. Talk to you later.